What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Gabe Mendez. It's April 14th. It's 11:43 p.m. Today it's Open Discussion Friday. So this is where you bring any conversation, any topics, questions that you have about anything related to the business. Today we're diving a little into marketing and branding guide to help you become more efficient with your marketing. If you decide to outsource it, if you decide to get a graphic designer, locally, domestically. If you decide to have an assistant or you have a marketing director on hand, it's extremely important to have a branding guide that talks about everything. The branding guide should talk about your mission statements, your vision statements. It should talk about colors, patterns, how small or large the logo can be. And right now we're going just into the middle of the branding guide, so let's hop right into it. Okay, so now we're looking at the color portion of my branding guide. I want you guys to look at that pretty carefully. Look at this, the color. And it talks about it gives them some detail. I'll read it to you if you can't read it. It says, colors play an essential role in our visual identity and differentiate us from other brands. These primary colors should be the foundation of any branding designs. So look, my primary white color, here's the code. Here's the code that I want them to use. So if you're a branding gut person, you just go onto your color, you type in FFFFFFF, and it gives the exact white that we're looking for. The red, green, and blue gives them the code on that. So no one has to guess. Look at this, my secondary color, dark gray. It tells them that stuff I don't understand right there, but here it gives you the code, 3333333 and all that stuff. I do that for the gold, the light gray, the blue, the pink. We have exact colors we want to use, a secondary color, light gold. Look at this. We even talk about the font. What kind of font do we want? Semi-bold. Here's what we want for the heading. These are the fonts right here. So in case they don't have the letters themselves, we provide them with the letters so they can just copy and paste it and use it. Light body. So if you want it to look a little more luxury, give me one moment, please. I'm not finished. Light body. So you have the letters and all the fonts. Again, they can copy and paste it. Here's an example of all of the numbers. And the elements, it talks about, this is an old one right there. So anyways, that's an example of the branding guide that we hand to people. I'm gonna pause for a second. I just gave you guys a lot. So what else? What questions do we have? Now, here is the updated version. Look at this. Here's our updated version. So that one that I showed you was our last branding guide when we were with Century 21. Now that we're at EXP, here's the new one. So brand guidelines, table of content, intro, mission statement, our logo. And let me turn this sideways. It actually might look better on your screen if I turn it sideways. Much better. There we go. Okay. So let's see the branding guide there. Logos, logo variations it talks about on this page. Full color, reverse color. As you can see, the logo, how we're using it in different places for people. Talks about logo eligibility, clear space, minimum space, just like we did on the last one. My favorite, which is the G. You have the logo symbol. On a few occasions, we use, it says it right here. In a few occasions, we use just our G symbol. We use the G symbol in applications where the logo would be too small to be legible, like whatever that says on that. I can't pronounce that word. It's also a watermark photography. So we're giving whoever is going to be running our marketing all of these things right here. Pale silver, again, you talk about the codes right there. Then we have the font. Here's the fonts that we use. And none of this was accidental, just so you guys all know. Everything was intentional that we chose. All the fonts and everything. We wanted a real luxury look. We wanted a simple look. We also wanted something fun and playful. So if we have, like, let's say something we're doing for kids or schools, we'll use Proxima Nova. If we're doing something a little more luxe, we're using, I don't know, you know what that word is, but we just call it Bodoni. All right. And then it talks a little more about how we use things and et cetera, et cetera. That's the importance of having a style guide. So back to Miguel, I would say begin creating that for yourself. Use your branding guide so that you have it on hand. But eventually, because again, you're a business owner and you're going to want to leverage your time, make sure that you guys are going out there and creating that style guide. So when you begin branding, when you begin leveraging, you have something for people to reference off of. All right, so let me see if there's any questions in the chat. Which site did you use for your VA? Onlinejobs.ph. If you want a referral, I'll put you in contact directly with the guy that I use, if you'd rather have that connection.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Okay, excellent. Would anyone like me to put them in contact with my guy?
Same here,
Yes,
Gabe.
please.
Louis.
Yeah, okay. What's the easiest way to do this instead of me writing everyone's name down?
Me too.
Can you do a Slack channel for?
He's on WhatsApp. He's not on Slack. He's in the Philippines. Let's see here. Maybe what I can do is I can just start an email now while I have you guys all on the call. All right, Richard. There's
You
him.
can't add his contact info on the general tab on Slack, and whoever wants to access it is there.
I would rather do a warm introduction. So this is you
Okay.
guys, like, hey guys, this is my partner. They're gonna be reaching out to you for your services. I don't know if he has the capacity to do everyone, but you know, let's just try it. So let's see. We'll start. I'm just gonna start putting the emails in. So Giovanna, who else?
Louis.
Louis,
Please.
Alondra,
Miguel. Hold on, let me see. I don't think Miguel, what's your email?
M Quijada .realestate@gmail.com.
Yeah. Can you text that one to me?
Yes, I can do that.
Thank you, my friend. Who else? Alondra.
Natalie.
Alondra, I don't have your email saved in my history. What is it?
selling SoCal with alondrac@gmail.com.
Yep, there it is.
Cool. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. And then Natalie, got you right there. Perfect. Who else? I have Giovanna, Louis, Alondra, Natalie, Miguel. As soon as he text it over to me. Is there anyone else that wants to be introduced to him?
Elizabeth?
Elizabeth. Is it Elizabeth Saldana.realtor?
Yes.
Awesome. Got that. Introduction.
Hey, add me, Gabe. I just texted you my email in case you don't have it. Carolina.
Catalina, thank you. Let me look at my text. Okay, oh, wrong phone. Okay.
Mom.
AZARIO.
Just send it, Gabe.
Thank you for that. RIO Catalina92@gmail.com. Perfect. Before I'm getting ready to send this right now, does anyone else need it? 3, 2, 1. Forever hold your peace. Here I go. Sending it now. Okay, moving on. So just so for some of you who are a little newer, I like to have this call every now and then just to kind of open discussion to see what you guys are thinking about, what you're facing, any needs that you might have, questions that you might want answered. And please be vocal about it because your question might be helpful to someone else. Does anyone have like an escrow situation, a repair, a negotiation, a door knocking scenario, cold calling, a posting situation that perhaps I can shed some light on based on my experience and help you guys out? Anyone facing anything right now they want to discuss? Any recruiting related questions? Team building related questions?
Gabe, I have a question.
Yeah.
I have this client I've been working with for over a year now. Finalizing his divorce, and we were looking up to the 3 million range, but then last time I spoke to him, he goes, I actually am thinking about possibly purchasing my own home, the home that he is still living with his current wife. Why? I'm trying to think. I've never dealt with a transaction in a divorce. Why would he want to do that?
Chances are he doesn't want to, maybe, there's a lot of reasons. He loves the house, wants to stay there. He probably just wants to end up buying her out, it sounds like. So either one, he would need, what's gonna have to happen is it's gonna have to be appraised. Chances are through some of the bank appoints, it'll be appraised. They'll both have to agree on the appraisal, independent appraisal. Whatever the value comes back at, the total amount of equity that's in the property, based on whatever the outcome is with the judge and the negotiations, it'll probably be 50-50. So 50% of the equity belongs to her, 50% of the equity belongs to him. So let's just say that ends up being $500,000 in total equity. Well, 250 belongs to her, 250 belongs to him. If he wants to buy the home for himself, he would then need to buy her out. So he would have to give her $250,000. They'd have to refinance the home if her name is on the loan, get her off the loan, refinance it, pull cash out. If he has the money, then that's no problem. Refinance, take her off the loan. If she's on the title of the property, then they'd have to do a quick claim deed, removing her off the title of the home. So those are the steps. The details in terms of like how much, it's all going to come from the court. But to legally get that done the right way, either he has the money, he gets a HELOC, he refinances it, pull the cash out. That's how he pays her off. Does a quick claim deed through escrow or through title to get her name removed off the title. So remember, you guys, you can be your name. If your name is only on the loan, you co-sign a loan for someone, you don't have any interest in the property. You have zero interest. If you're on the loan only, you're obligated to the debt, but you don't have any interest in the property. If your name is on the title, now you have financial interest in the home, depending on how you hold title. But that's important for you guys to understand. So there's people that I've worked with in the past where they wanted family members added to the title on a quick claim deed after the close of escrow, but their names were never on the loan. So now they have financial interest inside the property in case something were to happen, but they're not obligated to the debt. So those are two separate things, but that's how that would work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We have 4 more minutes. Does anyone else have any questions or situations that I can share some light on? Otherwise, I can think of something that I did recently, maybe that can help you guys out.
Gabe, are you familiar with the probate process? So
I like light familiarity to it. I've done 2 of them and I've researched it, and I've gone through 2 escrows with it. No
Okay.
question.
So I ran into a past client of mine whose mother was going through a divorce. She left the property, left the husband, then started going through the divorce, and then last year he passed away. So when I pulled the property profile, she wasn't on it, right? But when the divorce was finalized and the decree was handed, it said that she was able to get 50% of whatever they needed to sell the property, and she's going to get 50%, and 50% is going to go to his older children. But now, because he did die in that process, now they're saying that he has to go through probate, because no matter what the divorce decree says, the property is still under the deceased man's name. So now they still have to go through it because of how the decree was worded. So they explained to me that sometimes there is, cases where if the divorce says that it has to be sold and she's not on the property and they got a divorce, on the title, then sometimes they'll allow the sale to happen without going through probate because it's there. But in this case, they're saying that there's no way around it. So I'm just thinking like, well, can the attorney change the wording on the decree, or now it's final because it's been, recorded with the county? Like, can there still be changes to that to avoid probate?
I haven't gone through that situation where there was a death after the decree was already finalized and the sale hadn't taken place. But just like logically thinking out loud, I would say that no, because he's not around,
Right.
to agree to those terms. So
Correct.
chances are, if the wording wasn't in there already, and it's going to have to go through the whole probate process, and that's going to suck up a lot of the equity.
For sure. And it's
Yeah.
a fixer upper as it is. So I'm like, dang it.
Oh yeah. It's going to be at least 6 to 9 months until they get anything, and then all their equity will be gone by that point. So you might as well tell her that, chances are she needs to probably go look for like a hard money lender, buy it all cash and rehab it and flip it or something else.
Yeah.
Because she's not going to be cashing out too much on that after that.
Right.
Prepare her for it. It's going to be a long emotional process. Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
been so far. All right.
Yeah, yeah. I had a really cool situation recently, you guys. I just wanted to let you know. I followed up with this. So I secured a listing recently. It's just a little under 1 million. And I was sharing it with the team because I've been following up since last October, multiple times. And it's multiple phone calls and text messages. And with his personality type, because he was retired military, if you look at the text messages, it looks rude, but it's just very direct. And he responded best to it. And I was just like, did you receive my last text message? It would literally be a message. Hi, Richard, I've attempted contacting you multiple times and haven't heard back from you. Things like that. It was just very direct. And if you were to say it to someone else without context, without any emojis, it would look extremely rude. And even my team were like, dude, you're like, it seems almost borderline rude. But again, I knew the personality type when I spoke to him. He was very low profile, retired military. 6 months later, finally got the listing signed recently, did it, followed up. I asked, he interviewed 2 people, me and one other guy. The other guy that he interviewed, he liked because he was receiving this postcard every single month. Let me see if I can find the photo for you. We have 2 minutes left. And this flyer that he was receiving caught his attention and he liked it. He was like, yeah, maybe you can use something like this for your marketing pieces. Like, I really like this. And I sat with for like 2 or 3 minutes and I just asked him, why did you like that? What was it, what was it about that you liked? And he just said that it showed every single home that he had, every single home that, oh, here it is, perfect. It was on April 3rd. It showed every home that had sold in the area. And he liked being able to see all of those property. And when I looked up that flyer afterwards, all the homes that were on the flyer were not his listings, not his sales, but listen to what my client said. He said, look at all these houses that have sold in my neighborhood. And this guy sold all these houses. And when I took that picture home and looked at on the home snap afterwards, I'm like, this guy didn't sell all these houses, but he made it look like he did. And it was a market report update. But my client, being 70 something years old and retired, had no idea. All he had was this clean cut photo of this guy, all the sales. And guess what? It wasn't the prettiest flyer either. It wasn't like it looked the nicest or anything. It just looked, where is it at? Give me a second. I want to find it for you. It just looked basic. Here it is. Check this out. Look at this. Look at this. This freaking thing almost gave this other agent the listing over me. This thing right here. It's not sexy. Doesn't have a bunch of colors on it. It doesn't look like selling OC, nothing. Look at this.
Is that black and white or is it green?
It's freaking green and black. Freaking green and black. My gosh. And look on the side, all these little scribble. I know you guys can't see it. I'll put it in Slack. But all these things right here were all the sales. And on the calendar, he had a calendar that had all the events that were taking place in that community for the month of March. And on the right-hand side had all the recent sales. It's black and green. And he has a basic little headshot from Remax at the bottom. Nothing sexy. Freaking guy almost got the listing over me because he put a black and green, humongous. Here's the key thing though. He knew his demographic. He knew it needed to be big so they can see it. It was huge. He only selected all the sales that were in the area that were over $1 million to influence the client to believe his property would be worth that much. And he was just sending it every single month. So I asked my client, what'd you like about it? He's like, well, it gives me all the information that I need to know about all the sales that's happening in my area. And this guy is really well known in this neighborhood. I get a postcard from him every single month. So in my head, I thought to myself, man, this guy really knows his demographic. It was smart. He sent a big calendar. It wasn't fancy. And the demographic of that area, 70 plus, they're not looking for shiny colors and all that stuff. It honestly might be too much. And so he simplified it. Luckily, I ended up getting the listing over the guy. But the point of the story is he knew his demographic and was able to secure it. So, okay, team, we're wrapping up the call right here. You guys know if you need anything from me at all, I'm available all weekend. Shoot me a text or call. Go be productive, post, do your best, and have a good God bless day. See y'all later. Peace.